All right, folks. So we just had a misfunction because my computer sucks. But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a deep dive. This is NFL Deep Dive. Michael Vick not arrested. This is going to be, well, if you can. So from that logo there, we have 4 teams we're going to check out today. It's going to be the Atlanta Falcons, the Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs, and the Miami Dolphins. So a lot of people have done this before, but I wanted to kind of deep dive with it too. I've always found it fun to have what ifs, right? I've always been a what if kind of guy. And so I love it. I love it personally. But going into it, we have, let me share my screen. So here is Michael Vick. There we go. So here is Michael Vick. Michael Vick is somebody who was, yeah, something. He was something, all right. Okay, computer. Oh, my fuck. Hold on, guys. A little bit of a malfunction for a second. The internet doesn't work here, and I'm getting really fucking tired of it. I'm getting really fucking. All right, are we good now? Possibly. No, we have to have shit not work. We'll see if this works out, guys. But here are the stat lines. So we know that Michael Vick was an Atlanta Falcon for 6 years. We know he was around for 6 years. He had a couple of really good seasons. 04 was his best, obviously. Some would argue 02 actually was his best year, but obviously the Atlanta Falcons had some issues offensively and defensively when it comes to helping out Michael Vick, when it comes to doing all of that. So obviously in 07, he was arrested, came back in 2009, only played a single, well, he started one game, I guess, but he didn't really do much at all. He was out for a bit. Andy Reid gave him the chance, and then in 2010, he ended up balling out. Basically, he had 3,000 yards. At this point, was his best. 21 yards, also a best. And then if we can go down to rushing, I mean, yeah, look at this guy. This guy was a beast back then. Why is this happening? All right, there we go. So yeah, obviously the guy was a beast back then. You see this? This is his rushing, receiving. Haha, he actually had receiving yards. That's fun. I hate when this happens though. Look, guys, 16 yards for his first ever thing. That should be a reception if this is going to count for yards. But then you lose 14 of that, and then you only have 1 yard for your entire career. That's insane. That's insane. But yeah, best he had was obviously in 04. This was his best year. He had a really good year in 04. But so basically the idea is, what if he wasn't arrested? And in reality, let me see here. Yeah, in the logo, I probably should have put the Eagles, because we're going to look at that. Oh my God, what am I doing? Yeah, I probably should have put the Eagles. I should have put Eagles instead of Miami. But I do want to look at the Miami Dolphins from that very year, because they didn't really have the best quarterback situation. They did do well, though. Yeah, they had Chad Pennington, which Chad Pennington was fine. Pop-ups, go away. I'm fucking tired of Pro Football Reference at this point. Why? Why is this happening? Bro. Pro Football Reference is bugging nowadays, guys. Go away! Close and quit messing up my computer. Right, we're going to take that off for now. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but we're going to fix it. I'm going to fix it here in a second, guys. I've got to get it to where it can have control of itself. Oh my god. Why? Why is this happening? Right now. This is why I don't go live. Because of shit like this. Okay, stop sharing. We're just going to stop sharing. Okay. It was having its bugs because I was sharing my screen even though this computer should be able to handle it. But it's not. Great. I know I'm boring right now. And simply just because I can't fucking figure this out. It's crazy though, guys. Joe Flacco. This is what's crazy to me. We're going to share the screen again, see if this works this time. There we go. If we go to Baltimore from this year, which obviously the Dolphins couldn't beat them at all. I've always wanted an alternative universe though, where like the Dolphins or drafted Matt Ryan or Joe Flacco or something else in the first. But who knows? Yeah, Joe Flacco's first year went to the conference title game, went against the Steelers. All right, let's look at Kansas City, okay? Or actually, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to look at the draft from that year. I didn't go to Chris' draft. You guys know that. All right, so what I'm learning right now is that this thing is bugging every time I share my screen, so I'm just going to look it up and then bring it back. This is fucking ridiculous, though. Close ad. I don't want you. Thank you. All right. So looking at this draft board, Miami had the first pick. They drafted a guy who wasn't really great. Jake Long was not that good of a player. Chris Long, though, on the other hand, was. But then you have Matt Ryan taken number 3. Okay, my God, this fucking computer. And then you have Joe Flacco taken at the number 18. What I'm going to say is if Michael Vick never gets hurt, never gets arrested, I think you'd have to go ahead and say that Matt Ryan goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. They didn't really have him on his draft board, but I want to have that alternative universe because if you look at this Kansas City team in 2008, this team here, I'll be honest, I might just do one of those like videos instead. Oh, by the way, yeah, Jamal Charles was taken in this draft. We had a horrible draft, yet we had Brandon Carr and Jamal Charles. Can this thing fucking stop? Like, goddamn. Brandon Albert was on this team, but he wasn't the best guard to have. That's what I'll say. I'm trying to get to the actual 2008 season if we can do that. No, we can't. Amazing. But if we go here, oh yeah, so we're gonna make life fucking harder than what it needs to be. Amazing. So we went 2-14 that year, right? We didn't really have a quarterback. because I believe Trent Green. I'm going to check this real quick. Yeah, this is Trent Green's last year, but I believe he served it in Miami. No, he was with. Okay, so he would have been. He would have been with St. Louis. Back in St. Louis, I should say. Interesting. Um, he wore number 12 though. That's fucking weird. All right. Only started 5 games, lost all 5. Yeah, he aged really bad at one point. Like 2005 was his last serviceable season, and then after that, the last 3 years were just dog shit. But yeah, Trent Green was like an Alex Smith, and I very much believe in that. Yeah, Trent Green was just one of them guys where, like, if you needed him to scramble, if you needed him to throw deep, to like his connection from it was super weird because at one point we had Alex Smith, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce. People like to compare with Mahomes there, but I am comparing with Trent Green, Dante Hall, and Tony Gonzalez because that was the deal there. All right, Trent Green. Let's talk a little bit more about the 2008 Chiefs, shall we? So Kansas City in 2008, which I truly believe that if they had a better coach, they probably, yeah, Herm Edwards was a guy. They probably would not have gotten defense. They probably would have invested more in the offense because that was the biggest issue with Jared Allen and Tony Gonzalez was the fact that the offense just was not being developed. The only thing we got out of that draft offensively that was good was Jamal Charles. That's it. We had Larry Johnson there, but he wasn't really going to do much else because he got arrested himself. Jamal Charles ended up being a fucking superstar. Dwayne Bowe came from, I think, '07, and that is true. He was the first rounder in '07 to the Cleveland Browns. Wait, no, he wasn't. No, he was a draft pick of ours, but he was with the Cleveland Browns. I don't know. My head's scrambled. My head's a little scrambled. But that's fine. Rookie year, got 1,000 yards. Good there. If we had Matt Ryan instead of dealing with Damon Hayward, because for some reason we thought he was going to be a superstar at 35 years old, that would have been better. I don't understand. It was fucking weird. It was fucking weird. Kansas City Chiefs, they thought that Damon Hayward was going to be a stud at 33, 34, 35 years old. And they tried to develop Tyler Thigpen, but that didn't work at all. Yeah, Tyler Thigpen was a little bitch. Went to Miami. So everybody goes to Miami. It's weird. Everybody just loves Miami, don't they? We didn't even draft Tyler Thigpen. I have no idea what we saw in that guy. Like, it makes no sense. What number did he play with? Was that 4? Okay. So I'm saying, let's say in a better universe where Herm Edwards is not our coach, because that would have been nice. I truly think Michael Vick stays with Atlanta. Who does Philly get? That's what I wanted to see as well. Now we're going to deep dive into Philadelphia because Philadelphia probably wanted to get a quarterback themselves because I know that uh, I know Donovan McNabb wasn't there for much longer. He was starting to get older himself. Where did Philadelphia pick first? Or did they not have a first round pick? I don't think they did. Yeah, they had 2 second rounders. I absolutely have no idea what happens with the Eagles. I'll be honest with you, but the Eagles are somebody. The Eagles are a team that deserves to have at least something said about them. They went 9-6-1 in 2008. Not bad at all, obviously. And I think that literally the deal is like Andy Reid just was a big fan of giving people second chances. That's all it was. You saw that in Kansas City. Have seen that in Kansas City. You've seen that in Philadelphia. He was just that type of guy. I mean, he's a father figure. Mahomes says it best. Deshaun Jackson on that team. Brian Westbrook was a good player on that team. Well, kind of. he was, but like he wasn't like a stud. Oh my god, crazy. He was good, but he just wasn't like, oh my god, Hall of Fame good. You know what I mean? At least how people perspected him to be like. Um, but yeah, Donovan McNabb was there for how long? Does he even go to Washington? That's what I want to know. Is if he even goes to Washington in the first place. I know that was based off of a trade deal they did. I don't think with Michael Vick, not with the Eagles. I truly think he could have kept his. Ooh, interesting. I'm thinking, y'all. I'm thinking. Andy Reid would have definitely been fired though. Either way, because he just couldn't really. Who's the quarterback in 2011? Was that still Michael? I believe that was still Michael Vick. You guys aren't seeing anything because every single time I do the. Nope, wrong one. Every time I share my screen, it just bugs out on me. I have no idea why. I have no idea. See, 2010 was not a bad year. I think it was just when it got to 2012 that was just like, yo, what the hell? And then stupid ass Chip Kelly came in and ruined everything. Yep, Michael Vick was the quarterback in 2012. Let's say in an alternate universe that doesn't happen. So I don't think that the Eagles would have done well with Donovan McNabb in the last couple of years, but I don't think they had a choice. And the 2011 draft, I know. Let's see. In 2011 for the draft. There were a lot of QBs, a lot of them. This might be where Philadelphia ends up taking a. What just fucking happened? I'm so tired of this computer shit. Ooh, interesting. Philadelphia needs a quarterback. Let me see here. Where does Philadelphia draft in the first round? 23. I could easily see Philadelphia maybe trading down. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I could see them doing that. Jesus Christ, their first round pick guard only fucking lasted 3 years. What a shame. What a shame. Huh. Oh, wow. With this draft, I can confidently say that the Philadelphia Eagles will get a quarterback since they don't have a quarterback at all. At this point, they could feel comfortable because they have Michael Vick. They don't even have Donovan McNabb anymore. He's retired. He's done. In 2011 draft, it was very quarterback heavy, very, and I don't think the Nick Foles and Russell Wilson conversation happens. Ooh, I really don't. I could see possibly Andy Dalton. No, I don't. Fuck. See, this is crazy, okay? Because here's the deal. Kansas City won't need a quarterback. They have Matt Ryan. In my universe, okay? I gotta paint this picture a little bit better. Yeah, I gotta get this a little bit better. Excuse me. Colin Kaepernick doesn't become a 49er. The 49ers are stuck with Alex Smith. I think that's fair. Though they could get some trade value, I still think it's fair. What did give for Alex Smith? Trade Kendall Fuller and a third round pick. Oh no, that's what did no trade for Alex Smith in 2013. Oh, we gave a second round pick in the 2014 draft. I guess. Okay. Weird. Oh, sweet. All right, folks. My apologies. My apologies. We're coming back to this. I'm actually getting excited now. This is the part of it where I'm getting a little bit excited. I need to. Ow! Frickin' back! It hurts. It hurts. I'm fine. I'll suck it up. It'll be fine. All right, folks. So here's the alter. Oh yeah, I don't have the Canva thing anymore. Therefore, I can't use that background anymore. Uh-oh. Here, we'll just use this one. Fuck it. Yeah, this background you're seeing, it is part of the free subscription I got because I guess I got a lot of points or some bullshit. And so that's why that's happening. All right. So I do see Joe Flacco still. I hate this fucking photo. Oh, it's great. No, that's amazing. Nope, nope, nope. Wrong thing. Fuck. There we go. There we are. And then the Dolphins get who? We'll worry about the Dolphins later. I think the Dolphins just dolphin their way into whatever they're gonna do. Like at this point, where are the 49ers at? 49ers. I truly think they're gonna stick with Alex Smith on this one. Ow. Alex Smith. Give me a second, guys. I'm editing right now, so you guys get a world tour of what that looks like. All you 2 viewers out there, because I have not been live in a long time. Alright, I want a 49ers look. I don't care what image. Just give me something I can remove the background of and like take 2 seconds. So I'm making a thing right now, guys. I've got it all figured out. I think so. Yeah, Alex Smith is being, I don't know, you can probably call it punished in a way. I don't know if they still make the Super Bowl in 2011, but I do see, or is that 2012? I do see Alex Smith at least still going to the NFC Championship again, just because he did really well around the end. So let's get him here. This is a very bad image, but I'm kind of on crunch time right now because I am currently live. Who's the other team I said? Oh yeah, Philadelphia gets. I think they get Colin Kaepernick. I truly do. I think it fits Andy Reid's style. I just think Colin Kaepernick. Actually, let me see. Did Andy Reid want Colin? No evidence. I'm going to say he did, though. I feel like I know Andy Reid enough where he would have probably have taken him. No evidence, my ass. Come on. Ain't that some bullshit? All right, I don't want controversial photos to edit. I want this one. We'll do this one. That's fine. So Philadelphia has their quarterback. I feel like everybody but Miami, every single quarter or everyone but Miami has a quarterback here. Andy Dalton says, let's see it here. Nope, I need that back. I need things. Wow, big ass image. Fuck off with that. That's fine. Imagine Colin Kaepernick in Philadelphia. That just feels wrong. Truly, it does. It just doesn't feel right. Let's do one of these. And then we're just going to let... All right. We're just going to let Miami cry in a corner. And so this here, folks, is how I think things are going to go. Let me bring that logo down a little bit so you can see this. Bit of the full face. So Michael Vick stays with the Falcons. If Kansas City was smart that year, we would then see the Atlanta Falcons not taking. We would then see the Atlanta Falcons not taking Matt Ryan. Kansas City taking Matt Ryan, helping the morale for guys like Tony Gonzalez, helping the morale for guys like Jared Allen. I think Jared Allen maybe still goes. To be honest with you, I think he might end up leaving still. Does wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hmm. There's another thing I wanted to unfold here. Yeah. In 2009, we saw Brett Favre going to the Vikings. If we have Michael Vick, oh my God. Would Brett Favre hold the fuck up? Wow. We might have to do something alternative here. Wait a minute. Okay. We might have to do something a little bit different. With that, I didn't even consider Brett Favre. Does Brett Favre go to Philadelphia? Y'all gotta chat. I don't want Kaepernick on the Eagles. I don't want him either, but that's how the NFL goes. Andy Reid's offense, yo. Um, you might be saved though, Mitch. Okay, Mitch? Which one would you rather have, Brett Favre or Colin Kaepernick? That's the question. That right there is the deal. If Michael Vick isn't arrested, does Philadelphia get punished with the last years of Brett Favre? Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at a certain point where we're halfway through this, and I'm still having a hard time deciding this. Okay, obviously Joe Flacco stays with the Ravens. I feel like that's obvious. Kansas City gets their quarterback, gets Matt Ryan. Which I wish we had Matt Ryan, dude. I mean, obviously, I don't think we would have gotten Pat Mahomes at one point, but I don't know. I feel like it's not. I feel like it's a better alternative because of the fact you got to think of it this way for Kansas City. Not only did they get to draft, okay, I'm going to say we don't get Eric Berry. It sucks. I know. I feel like everyone just left because I mentioned Kansas City. Oh no. But I feel like people are leaving just because I'm mentioning Kansas City, but it gets good. It gets good. Don't worry. I will mention Kansas City, and then I will move on. I feel like Jared Allen, depending on if he stays, you have Jared Allen, right? Justin Houston. Keep that in mind. You have who else do you have? You have Alan Bailey. Ooh, Alan Bailey. My God. You have Derek Johnson. Already, Tamba Hali is another one. Tamba Hali would be another one. You already have 5 really good defensive players on your team. You would just need to develop the back end, and you still have guys like Brandon. Well, no, actually, Brandon Carr left at that point, but you still have a decent developing backfield. But the front is a fucking superstar. Okay, the front. You've got so many playmakers. Andy Reid, I could see still signing with Kansas City after he gets fired in 2012 because I don't see a world where a guy like Brett Favre or a guy like uh, Colin Kaepernick, maybe if they draft Andy Dalton, but I don't know. I feel like that one's a little bit tricky. I do. I feel like that one might be a little tricky. Maybe Minnesota for Favre. I know Favre wanted the environment, and I know he wanted the coaching. That is what he wanted. So I might just leave Favre alone and keep him with the Minnesota Vikings. Just from that fact, you can't really get rid of that aspect. But this is a crazy alternative, y'all. This is a little bit crazy for me. All right. Yep. So the good thing is we still have the rivalry of Joe Flacco and Ben Roethlisberger. You guys don't have to worry about that. Who goes to Miami is the question. If we're looking at the 2011 draft, Miami did not draft a quarterback, but where do they draft next? All right. Let's say I'm going to save you guys a little bit of heartache. I'm going to get rid of Colin Kaepernick, and I'm going to put Andy Dalton in the mix, just to kind of give another perspective, because I feel like that makes more sense with the Andy Reid. I wanted to give more of the. I wanted to give more with the. Oh, what the fuck? You can add emojis now. Cool. I wanted to kind of give more of like a 49ers situation. I feel like there still would have been some kind of connection with that type of with how Colin Kaepernick plays, but at the same time, I don't know. So let's say he does go to Kansas City, has Matt Ryan. Obviously, there's not really much for Alex Smith. Colin Kaepernick does not become a 49er. I don't see it that way. I feel like maybe Cincinnati takes Colin Kaepernick. That kind of does look a little bit of like a desperation move. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share my screen for this one. Nope. There we are. Yeah, let's get it behind the scenes. Not sure how smart this is, but whatever. I don't really care, honestly. Let's say this is the new NFL because Michael Vick was never arrested. Let's say that is what we have. Can I push this in a little bit? No, I'm pushing no, I can't. Okay, whatever. Here. Let's just save this real quick. There we are. Folks, this is the alternative. I truly believe in this because I looking back into it, I don't know if Colin Kaepernick truly fits the Eagles as a draft pick. So, as a trade, I could see it if Kansas City or Philadelphia at the time still needed a quarterback, but I feel like Philadelphia will probably trade down. It's my guess, so that Andy Dalton can be a Philadelphia Eagle. Because at this point, like we mentioned before, Michael Vick is not arrested. He's still with Atlanta. Matt Ryan jumps in Kansas City's lap because the pick after would have been the Raiders, and then the Chiefs would have been after the Raiders. Raiders just got their quote unquote franchise quarterback. They're not worried about it. So now they're looking into Kansas City side for Matt Ryan. I think they'd have to pull it. I don't see Dorsey being picked after Matt Ryan's taken. I feel like they would have just picked the best available. Who else do they have? Damon Heward and stupid ass Tyler Thigpen. If Kansas City was smart back then, they would have. I think they should have even taken Joe Flacco. Even if they overdrafted, they should have taken a quarterback either way. The Kansas City Chiefs should have taken a quarterback, but they didn't. So I still see Joe Flacco. I still see Joe Flacco and Alex Smith staying where they originally were. I see Alex Smith also going to just stay with the 49ers. And then I could really see that. No Michael Vick with the Philadelphia Eagles. Andy Dalton is the next franchise quarterback. Where does Colin Kaepernick go? That's where I'm trying to see on this draft board that I have up right now. Cleveland's next after San Francisco. I don't know if at the 2011 draft they would have actually they took. Didn't they take a quarterback in 20? No, that was 2012, wasn't it? Where they took the guys like 28 or whatever. So they maybe could have taken him. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't think Cleveland took a quarterback in the first round in 2011. So yeah, they could have taken him. Arizona's fine. They would actually went to the Super Bowl with Kurt Warner that year. So I don't see Colin Kaepernick going to Arizona. Tennessee maybe. I could probably see it for Tennessee. Not Dallas. Not Washington. I think Washington had. Who do they have? I think did they have Ryan Shazier? Ryan. What's his fucking name? Linebacker. Not Shazier. Sorry, but Ryan Kerrigan. What a great pick. Hindsight, it was like a mid pick. It was a great pick though. Let's be real, guys. Let's be real. So Washington in 2011, I believe that's when they had they had Rex Grossman that year. Yeah, they definitely needed a quarterback. What about I know Cleveland, they fuck everything up they touch. I could see Tennessee. Potentially, I could. Oh no, Jake Locker. They took Jake Locker that year, so it wouldn't have been Tennessee. Yeah, Tennessee would not have taken him. Steelers. Where was I going? Browns. Come on. Yeah, Colt McCoy though. They were very big on Colt McCoy. So Jarvis Jenkins. That wasn't a bad. Well, no, it was a pretty bad pick. It was a pretty bad pick. Washington didn't take a quarterback in 2011. I forgot who I just said they had. I'm trying to find where Colin Kaepernick goes because that's a big deal on its own. I find it funny if he was a Washington player. Yeah, Rex Grossman. You know what? Actually, you know what? Let's not fuck with history. I think if the 49ers take him, let's not mess with history. If let's say the 49ers pass up on him, like I don't think they will. Oh, but then where does Alex Smith go? Washington. Fuck it. There we go. That right there, folks, is my final thing. I'm going to change this up because Alex Smith is no longer a 49er after that Super Bowl season. He is going to be with Washington, which is where he went afterwards. And I think Washington always had their eyes on Alex Smith. They just never got it. So they still go with, and excuse me for this, but it's true at the time. They still go with an Indian-style team. Colin Kaepernick stays. Let's say he stays as a 49er. Everything happens the way it does. Wow. Yeah, what did I do? There we go. And then we're just going to do this. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's see how this looks. I think this looks way better. I think this looks smarter. And I don't even know if Andy Reid stays as the coach for. I don't know if he ends up being a coach for the Eagles. I don't think, or I mean Kansas City. Depending on how they do, I don't know who coaches that team at this point. But this right here, folks, I am locking it in. I am locking it in that this right here is how the NFL could have looked. And if that's the case, wow. Hmm. I didn't even mention. See, there's a lot to put into this. That's why it's taken me a long time to do it. But that's why, I mean, it's a live stream. That's going to happen. Um, oh my God. Wow. At that point, where does RG3 go? Um, maybe RG3 doesn't actually. Maybe RG3 still goes to Washington. I don't I don't know. Ooh, wait a minute. We still have to consider Miami and Cleveland, which was the whole point of this video. Is also figuring out Miami and Cleveland. Let's see it here. When do they draft? Okay. Wow. Carolina got their franchise quarterback. Philadelphia has Andy Dalton. Arizona is an interesting one. Arizona could be interesting. I'm going to hide this. This is, well, actually, no, I'll keep it up. I'll keep it up. We're going to change Alex Smith. We're going to change him up. Let's go to Arizona. They're down here, all the way at the bottom. Cool. All right. Let's do this shit. Who was their quarterback? Fucking literally nobody. Wow. You know what? I like where this is going. Here, I'm going to do this. Who were all teams interested in Alex Smith in 2012? 13. That's fine. Teams were interested in Alex Smith before he retired. I don't fucking care about before he retired. I want to know about 3 rumors. Team linked. Okay, good. So let's say I truly I think Miami could actually, or would it be? I'm looking at the 2012 draft. Obviously, this is a year after when he was taken, but I have to just trust my gut here. Miami could have still taken Matt Ryan. I mean, Ryan Tannehill. I could see Arizona trading for no, because that's a division rival. This is rough. This is rough. The Jets currently at that time thought they had a quarterback. Cincinnati doesn't have a quarterback anymore. Wow. Okay. So let's see my current chart. We have the Bengals doesn't. The Bengals don't have anybody. Wow. Does Alex Smith? Does Alex Smith end up going to Cincinnati? Think about it, folks. Think about it. That could be big, folks, because if Alex Smith gets traded in 2013 and the Bengals still need a quarterback at that point and they take a few years to try to figure it out, I don't think let's see. I don't think Cincinnati would have been the ones to take Brandon Weeden, because Brandon Weeden was just a really weird fucking pick that had no reason to be a first round pick. 28 years old. You have got to be fucking kidding me. Stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. Wow. So yeah, we're gonna ignore that. We're gonna ignore Brandon Weeden. He's gonna stay with the Cleveland deal because Cleveland's just really fucking stupid. um, I'm gonna say Miami stays with Tannehill. So Miami's gonna stay with Tannehill. Let me lock that in. Miami. Don't worry. Don't worry. I got shit cooking up. Okay, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not leaving until this thing is done. All these teams are going to get fucked up. I'm going to lock this into the Bengals. I think Andy Dalton and Alex Smith have the same style. RG3 is going to stay with Washington. All right. This is the new one. We're going to do RG3. And like the same thing's going to happen to RG3. It's just, I feel like RG3 is destined to still be a Washington player. I need Ryan Tannehill. There we are. Hello there, Ryan. Hello there. Dude, Tennessee getting them was fucking wild. I love that though. The Dolphins. There you go. Okay. I'm doing a few extra edits, guys. Give me a few seconds and trust the process. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button as well for the Hardcore Sports Network and SSAWN Network. If you haven't done that yet, then hey, what are you doing? You gotta know when we're going to be uploading, y'all. Promotional pitch, you know what I'm saying? Ow, that was loud, computer. All right, I need Miami, and I need Washington. Good, good. I need those guys. This is the final for what I'm building here. For what happens in the NFL world. I still see Tannehill. I don't see that changing because Miami had the first pick. The Bengals, though, they do leave that draft without having a franchise quarterback to build on. Sucks for them. But it ends up working out because then they get to have Alex Smith. And Alex Smith, we all knew, was pretty serviceable. He wasn't going to be the guy to beat the Steelers. I hate to break it to you, Bengal fans, but he was absolutely somebody who can get the job done. So, without being a Kansas City Chief anymore, because Matt Ryan would end up destroying the league. Let's get that shit out of here. Get this coming up. Oh. There we are. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your deep dive. This is going to be your... I don't think Mitch approves. This is great. This is amazing. I had to show Mitch real quick because this is the NFL after a while. RG3, it's just Washington gets the second pick. Obviously, I feel like maybe they could have gotten a quarterback before this, but I just feel like it's inevitable for Washington to have a very big downfall anyways. If they weren't going to get it with McNabb, after McNabb goes to Phil, and I don't see Philadelphia trading McNabb. I feel like Washington is screwed. I don't think they're not going to get Brett Favre. They're not going to get Kurt Warner. Because that goes Arizona. Arizona gets their own deal later on. They say with their same deal. But I think the Bengals could easily they miss out on Andy Dalton. They want somebody who's pretty similar that can fit that system. And I truly believe that with AJ Green, I feel like there's going to be a really big. It's going to be almost the same as Dwayne Bowe. How Alex Smith and Dwayne Bowe had a pretty decent. Had a pretty decent chemistry. I feel like AJ Green would be a good receiver for him too. He was fast, tough getting the ball, and a really good wideout. So the same deal goes with Dwayne Bowe on that matter. Then you have Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton ends up going to Philadelphia, and he doesn't do much with. Ooh, we got to figure out where Nick Foles goes as well. I want to get that done too because Nick Foles is a big part of this story. I believe he was a third-round pick. Washington will probably still get Kirk Cousins just because I'm not going to fuck with that. Wait a minute. Maybe I will. So there's Russell Wilson. After that, Philadelphia gets... Wow. All right. Interesting. This is interesting. Oh, yeah. Same deal goes for Drew Brees. Drew Brees, obviously, that was before the arrest. So nothing happens with Drew Brees in this one. Let's see. Trying to see what makes sense. Atlanta doesn't need a quarterback at this point. Maybe they do. I don't know. He played. I think I'm just going to pretend too that, let's say, all right, I'm going to make a pretend that Michael Vick never lost a step. We're just going to pretend that he never lost a step. He stays with Atlanta. They do that NFC title game bullshit and, lose to the Giants. I think they lost to the Giants. Yeah. So we're going to stick with that. What happens with Big Dick Nick Foles? Seattle will take Russell Wilson. That's not a problem there. Denver will probably still take Brock Osweiler. They probably should have taken Russell Wilson though, which would have been a really, really funny alternative. I feel like in the third round or even in a second, just take the fucking chance. What do you have to lose? You have all these teams where it's like, I'm going to lose my job security. What? I have a lot to lose. You have nothing to lose, dude. Just take the fucking player. He's going to be great. Just take the fucking player. The Colts. Yeah, they took Andrew Luck. Oh my god. I forgot to even consider Peyton Manning as well. Though I think Peyton Manning is his own thing. It's probably still going to be a Broncos deal. Tennessee needs a quarterback because Jake Locker is a little bitch. Arizona could use a quarterback. Where do they draft? Interesting. You know what? Arizona's going to take Big Dick. They want the big dick. Take that as you will. Take that as you may. Philadelphia will not take Nick Foles when they already have Andy Dalton. So what I'm going to do... Yeah, in this alternative universe, Nick Foles will absolutely go to Arizona. They draft a little bit after... Why didn't they take him? I don't know. That's something I'll never fucking understand. Why didn't they take a quarterback? Were they... I feel like they needed one. It feels weird giving Arizona Nick Foles when they literally didn't even take him. Because I guess I can't. I guess, yeah. I'm going to have to be a little more creative because Arizona... Here, we're still going to put Nick Foles in the mix. So let's see. Maybe Philadelphia still takes a big dick. They like the dick. I don't know. Well, you know about Philadelphia. They think they got big dicks. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with that talk. All right. Let's say Nick Foles. So we went down to the third. Ooh. Cincinnati could have taken Nick Foles, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I think Cincinnati takes Big Dick Nick Foles, but also trading for Alex Smith. Yeah. Which is a full circle moment because we all know that Alex Smith played with Nick Foles in Kansas City. The other thing to consider is this where Andy Reid goes when he's fucked up. Andy Reid could have been a interesting. Does Andy Reid end up in Cincinnati, or does he still go to Kansas City to coach Matt Ryan? I'm going to be a little creative here, and I think I'm going to just say, yes. I think he does, which probably means so does Travis Kelce. Holy shit. I'm floored. I think this is the biggest game changer for Cincinnati. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm going to lock it in. Well, hold on. So I think it's cool. Let's say Tony Gonzalez is still with Kansas City. Does Andy Reid, if Andy Reid's in Kansas City, does he still go with Kelce? Because I know that Jason Kelce was like, hey, you need to draft this guy. Or does he go to Cincinnati instead? This is a fucking weird situation. I'm just saying. This is wherever Andy Reid goes is what's going to dictate everything on this matter at this point. Because Andy Reid is the quarterback maker. He's the guy that does the quarterbacks. He's the guy that does the, talks with, Nick Foles, with Alex Smith, with Travis Kelce, with all these guys. Wherever Andy Reid ends up is where Travis Kelce will end up. And that's probably Cincinnati. But I'm going to leave it right here. I think I'm just going to end it here with this. I'm not going to go way too deep. Herm Edwards doesn't say. Let's just say that. Herm Edwards doesn't say. Oh, fuck. Where does Matt Castle go? Motherfucker. You know what I'm going to do? Matt Castle can go fuck himself. He just went to a deserted island. And I'm allowed to do that because so did Dave Demachek. So he can go fuck himself. I have his jersey. I can say that. Okay. No, it's all good. All right, folks. This is your final. Everything just fell. I don't know if you heard that carnage, but everything just fell. All right. I want at least one view in here so I can end this shit. Because I'm done. I'm tired. My brain had too much brain work for today. And there goes all my Pokemon cards. Nice. Okay. So such a whatnot. Thank you all for tuning in. This is your deep dive. Michael Vick, not arrested. And you can see from the NFL here that shit went down. All right. Have a great night, everybody. So such a wonder. Don't forget the whatnot. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. And good night.